Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Traviator. Last episode, we just took you through the history of private jets, where we started from the war room to the boardroom. You've seen the beautiful pictures and videos, the interiors and the plush niches of private jet, the VIP lounges, the concierges, and everything that comes around private flying. But trust me, private aviation is not about just the glam, the glitz, and the paparazzis around it. Today, we'll take you a little deeper into the benefits of flying private and why a lot of people choose this means of transport. This is The Traviator. My name is Tayo Orishadari. Let's start with the most valuable resource that life has got to offer: time. When you fly private, you can choose to arrive 15 minutes before your departure. Your luggage will be handled. You go through security checkpoint. You probably want to have coffee before you even board. You board at your own time. And trust me, you will still be able to depart on time. Your time. That is actually what matters, because you have full control about exactly how you want to fly, when you want to fly, and even what you want to fly. Imagine visiting 3 cities in one day. I actually have experienced it. But beyond that, also look at the flip side. A chief executive who wants to close a multi-million-dollar business in Sao Tome. And for him to get there from Lagos, he actually needs to fly first to Portugal, and from Portugal to find his way all the way down to Sao Tome. Like they say in this my part of Africa, God forbid he's caught in Portugal and the aircraft is delayed. Or for whatever reason, he just stuck there for technical reasons. And instead of arriving the 12 o'clock the next day, he only arrived, or maybe did not even make it there in the first instance. For avid students of business studies or business management, you can imagine what the opportunity cost of this is to this HNI, or indeed the business. If you're a business leader, you actually know what advantages time brings to the fore, not just about the convenience, but also as a competitive advantage. Another major advantage is flexibility and control. When you charter or lease the private jet, for the moment that private jet is chartered, it's 100% under your control. You call the shots. You decide on when you want to fly, departure time, destination, airport, even the catering menu. Most of the time, I had an ultra high net worth individual, and it was just a common joke that a flight is beautiful when you can get him pounded yam, egusi soup, and palm wine. A local tap from the raffia palm from the western part of Nigeria. That is the power of private aviation. He chooses what he wants to eat, whether it's on 0 feet or 35,000 feet. He also decides to say, for this flight, make me 2 beds. And at about 12 o'clock in the night, I want to do my prayers, and I'll break my fast 1 hour later. Flexibility and control. So need to change your flight plan mid-air sometimes. Imagine a scenario where you're headed to Maiduguri, but you've been trying to chase an appointment with the governor of Rivers State, say in the last 3 months. And with the instrumentality of the internet on board or the sat phone on board, somebody 25,000 below was able to reach you and say, hey, Mr. HNI, by the way, your meeting with the governor of Rivers State is now confirmed, but you can only see him if you can make him within the hour. Pause for a minute. And Mr. HNI now goes to the cockpit and say, can I make my meeting in Port Harcourt in 45 minutes? You can imagine when the pilot just turned and say, oh, say no more. And in 40 minutes, you're in Port Harcourt because it gives you that flexibility of getting there within that 45 minutes. Imagine the control, the customization, and the convenience that this private jet lifestyle brings to fore. And I use the word lifestyle very carefully. Where in the world can you be on the British Airways or a Lufthansa and you want to do that? They probably would think, is it okay or something? And maybe by the time the aircraft touches down, security will be called. That is what private aviation is able to do to you. Number 3, privacy and comfort. Whether you are a celebrity, an executive, or just a discreet business entrepreneur who just believes in doing your thing your way, there are some times you want to make some moves, and for confidential reason or as a secret of the trade, you just want to be able to move relatively quietly and unseen. Do you need to hold a confidential meeting at 40,000 feet? Do you want to sleep, play, or even shoot a video? Or are you that very busy person who has been moving from one place to the other and now feeling that you are kind of losing out on family time? Meanwhile, you still need to meet another business commitment in another country. In that instance, you're able to just maybe stop somewhere, get your wife and your children, and really have very private moments with them for the next 3 hours of flying. Share the time with your daughter or your son, help them with that homework, catch up with the gist that daddy needs to hear, or that moment that your wife needs to share, those private moments, the things that she wanted to talk to you about, that those 3 hours would have taken away from you. And let's not forget, the comfort of lying down on that bed and sleep like a baby, or just the flexibility of choosing the gourmet catering you want from choice places or specific places. I've seen someone who was just very intentional on this flight. Tayo, please make sure you help me to get the seafood okra from Yellow Chile in Ikeja. And because you called the shot and it's your flight at that point in time, who am I to disobey my master? Safety and security is yet another one. But of course, aviation is a very heavily regulated industry. I mean, whether it's commercial aviation, cargo, general aviation, or the likes, it is still very heavily regulated. But you know when they say something is on fleek, or an ordinary car is now turbocharged, private aviation happens to be in that category. Nothing moves. In fact, the simplest click or move in private aviation is taken very seriously. Heck, what do you expect of an aircraft that flies on Rolls-Royce and not just your regular engine? It is like someone who can afford a Rolls-Royce and you're saying the engine oil in that Rolls-Royce is low. Private jets are heavily maintained to the highest standards. Crew are trained with elite protocols. They know when and what to do at every point in time. They get their trainings twice a year, and it's not a matter of choice. And security, top notch. If you arrive in New York and you need private guards from the point of arrival till you return to your destination, we arrange it for you. It's only a matter of how much of it you want. But even most of the time, maybe you're, oh, hey, tone it down. I'd rather want private security than this retinue of aides. During COVID-19, private aviation became the fastest way to travel. In fact, indeed, it even became the only way to travel at some point because commercial aviation did actually grind it to a halt. Even today, it offers the peace of mind that is hard to find or match even in first-class cabins. So, if you're flying with your family, your board, your team, even your colleagues at work, and you have the space to so do, nothing beats the extra layer of safety as provided by private aviation. Access to remote destinations is yet another thing. You know, some of the very, very high-ended, exclusive destinations, whether for holidays, conferences, or business deals, are in some of the remotest of areas. There's a private strip somewhere very close to Zanzibar in Zambia. The only people that visit the private strip are private jets. And your guess is as good as mine. Very, very serene location, plush environment, exclusive accommodation, and gourmet catering. The highest of taste of wines and the likes. And who else will be able to pay for this? I bet you, I actually dare you that there are some people in that country that had never been to this destination. In case you don't know, the Davos in Switzerland is very, very exclusive, where they hold some of the most high-level policy decision-making conferences in the world. Yes, you can make your way to Switzerland, but no, not everybody can get into Davos. Most of the time, you're going to stop over somewhere, and perhaps if you get the approvals, maybe a rotary wing aircraft will take you there. So in order for you to get to some of these remote destinations, private aviation is able to take you there. For statistics purposes, commercial aviation only covers about 10% of the world's airports. Private jet can have access to over 5,000 airports globally. Just pause a minute and take that in. 10% of the world airports are covered by commercial airliners. I mean, all those big airlines that you see flying all over the place. And private aviation can get up to 5,000 airports globally. So you can imagine how much of aviation fun you're missing when you're not flying private. That means less ground travel, quicker access, and the freedom to reach remote destinations without hassle is maybe, as I can say, the exclusive reserve of private aviation. So yes, flying private is luxurious, it's fun, it's smart, it's efficient, but it's also strategic. For business or pleasure, it's about taking control of how you travel. In the next episode of the Private Jet series, to everything that has a good side, it's expected that maybe there are some other side of it that might be challenging. We'll be talking about the supposed downsides of private aviation. However, we'll also be telling you how to best navigate these supposedly downsides. Until then, if you have comments or questions, please post them down below and we'll be very happy to answer those questions. In order to promote this podcast, why not subscribe, like, share, and like I said, comment where you think you have questions to ask us. Until the next time around, my name is Tayo Orishadare, and this is The Traviator.
Thanks for joining us on The Traviator. Please stay up to date with us by visiting thetraviator.com. You may also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all podcast outlets. Until next time, keep learning the world, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Traviator Podcast.